foods on earth, hair growth oil and hair magic elixir, unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Let's begin by asking, why does Black progress so often trigger sharp backlash? Think about Tulsa's Black Wall Street, not just destroyed by violence, but deliberately erased from the classroom. That's not a random act, that's a pattern. Every time Black communities rise, be it through entrepreneurship or social movements, there's a coordinated response. Redlining, mass incarceration, economic suppression. You might be wondering, is it just animosity? Actually, the deeper issue is power. Power structures, think of them like operating systems, aren't designed to update themselves for equality. When a group long subjugated shows evidence of renewal, it disrupts the established code. The result? Pushback, both overt and subtle, to keep the status quo. And let me tell you, history repeats because the underlying software hasn't changed. Now, what if we look beyond America's borders? Now let's widen the lens. Across continents, Black creativity and intellect shape entire industries, from the global influence of Afrobeats to the game-changing inventions in science and technology. But here's the twist. The profits and recognition rarely flow back to the originators. Think of cultural appropriation as economic extraction, like mining a rare resource, except the resource's rhythm, language, and style. Why does this happen? Colonial systems didn't retire, they rebranded. Control of trade routes and media narratives remains tightly held, much like a firewall in cyberspace. And when Black communities unify using their collective trillion-dollar buying power, that's a market disruptor. Now you might be asking, isn't competition good? It is, but only if the playing field isn't booby-trapped. Instead, old hierarchies adapt, ensuring creators rarely control the platforms their work sustains. Let's dive into the psychology. How do power systems maintain dominance? Not just with laws, but with what psychologists call internalized oppression. Picture this. If you convince a people to doubt themselves, you never have to chain their bodies, their minds, do the work for you. This is where terms like divide and conquer and colorism enter the chat. Why is there constant tension within the Black diaspora? African, Caribbean, American, Latin, it's by design. United, such a coalition would destabilize the entire power matrix. Now you may wonder, isn't this just paranoia? No, it's basic game theory. Whoever controls the narrative shapes the perception and ultimately the flow of resources. That's why media imagery and economic policy are used like chess pieces, moving us away from collective power. Fast forward to today. Black creators spark viral trends, but do they own the platforms where billions are made? Rarely. Our neighborhoods become trend setting, then suddenly gentrify after years of neglect. Even political movements designed to empower often get absorbed, redirected, or sanitized beyond recognition. Algorithms, those invisible gatekeepers of the digital world, act like invisible velvet ropes. One tweak, and Black businesses vanish from your feed. Now, let me tell you, this isn't just about small businesses or musicians, it's systemic. But here's the twist. Every generation innovates. From urban farming collectives to digital media startups, new forms of ownership are emerging, breaking the old mold. That's resilience, and it's how we keep rewriting the rules, even as the game changes. Let's get real. This battle isn't only external. The struggle for Black progress has deep spiritual undercurrents. Scripture says, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities." If you've ever wondered, why does this keep happening? Why is progress resisted at every turn? Remember, evil doesn't bother with what isn't a threat. Spiritual warfare in this context means there's a bigger purpose behind Black resilience. When you recognize your own divine purpose, that you're part of a story stretching back generations, resistance becomes fuel, not a roadblock. The very fact that there's so much opposition is proof that restoration is not just possible, but destined. Understanding this shifts the question from why us to what are we called to do next. So, where do we go from here? First, own your narrative, tell your story before someone else distorts it. That's narrative sovereignty, and it's as crucial as economic independence. Next, practice economic circulation. Buy black, build black, keep dollars in the community. It's not just a trend, it's a survival strategy, like a financial immune system. And teach the real healing history, the kind that empowers, not the kind that erases. Now, you might ask, can individual choices really shift the system? Absolutely, because collective action is exponential. When you stop seeing other Black people as competition and start embracing collaboration, old hierarchies crumble. Power returns to its true source, the people. And that's how you turn spiritual awakening into social transformation. Let's make that restoration unstoppable.